Hey everybody, happy Friday and happy Fridays with Fidelman. I'm Cheryl Fidelman, life coach, trauma healer, and writer. And today's topic on Fridays with Fidelman is the brick wall for codependence. Now, when I talk about the brick wall for codependence, I'm talking about urgency and the lack thereof. So this is similar to the video that I put out called Procrastination and the Codependent Creator. The link to that video is down below. And also Codependence equals death denial. So I'll include the link to those two Fridays with Fidelman below this video. And I wanted to bring up urgency again in a little bit of a different way. You know, when we look at what is happening on the world stage right now as a result of racism, systemic racism, white privilege, all of these conversations that are up right now and that people are actively engaging in, it took what I would call a brick wall to have these conversations be as loud and rampant as they are important. The reason why I say that is because racism has been around forever. It's not a new conversation. It's not something that's just now happening. It's been happening forever. And, embedded in societies, embedded in cultures, and it's something that, not that, it goes under the radar. And then something huge happens, and we go, oh, we got to march in the streets for this. And so, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't mean it goes under the radar as if nobody's impacted. What I'm saying is people are impacted by racism all the time, and it doesn't have the spotlight on it that it does now because something huge happened. Completely catastrophic murder happened, and now we're really, 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 really looking at it together, as a national and global society. And so, I've said, like I said in last week's video on, unhealed trauma and racism, I'm not a political mouthpiece. So I apologize in advance if I say anything wrong. I'm not here to, educate on American history or anything like that. But my point of view, I will lean this towards my point of view, which is in the realm of codependence and trauma, unhealed trauma, because I'm a trauma healer. And so when we look at the brick wall of racism, which was this unjust murder, what is the brick wall for codependence? Okay, so we have codependence rampant in our lives, codependency rampant in our lives, and we're not speaking about it, right? Where in your life is codependence really, really embedded in the culture of your life, and it's going to take a brick wall for you to make a change. Not unlike racism embedded in the culture, and it takes a brick wall for people to band together and make a change. Not unlike the hope for racism, that now that there's been a brick wall, that it's not gonna, we're all gonna pay attention to it, and then we're just gonna go back to not paying so much attention to it. That we hope that this actually has the issue and multiple issues be addressed ongoingly and have a ongoing microscope on the issue. That it doesn't just disappear and go back to, turning a blind eye, and go back to the way, life as usual. So I'm going to put that camera on codependence as well. That, number one, where have you hit a brick wall with your codependency? then there was all this attention on it, and then your life went back to the way it was. And where in your life can you actually consider, I'm going to make changes right now before I hit some brick wall? And for some people, brick wall is just time. They're like, I've been in this marriage for 30 years and it's not working for me. And I'm repressed and I'm ignored and I don't feel like I have a voice. And I'm recreating my dynamic with my mother or my father in this relationship. Or you have a talent, gift, or passion, and it just keeps, you just keep not doing it. What's going to be the brick wall there? Is it, for some people, it's just time and age. Like, oh my God, I'm 60 years old. I better start utilizing my time as a reflection of who I think I really am. So what is your brick wall when it comes to your codependency? And have you hit your brick wall? Did it make a difference? Are there other areas in your life where you go, haven't hit that brick wall yet? And so I'm not going to wait till I hit the brick wall. I'm actually going to make a change in that area. I'm going to stop ignoring. I'm going to stop sweeping things under the rug. I'm going to stop noticing things that I don't like, but ignoring it, ignoring my intuition. Brick walls can be a massive amount of time goes by, decades. For some people, a brick wall is like they're broke. A brick wall can impact somebody financially, could impact somebody's health, could cost them their life. Ignoring, sweeping things under the rug not only impacts you, it can impact the happiness, the health, and the well-being of the people around you, your friends, family members, partners, co-workers. If you're repressed, if you're holding back, if you're noticing something that you're not saying anything about, it will and can impact others. Not unlike the murder that we've recently seen, and that police officer had, I think, 12, I saw 12, and I saw 18, I don't know, complaints on his record, how much of a blind eye was turned, how many blind eyes in each one of those cases was turned. And, I'm juxtaposing, maybe an awkward juxtaposition, and I'm juxtaposing this, murder and racism with how we relate to our codependents. But for one thing, that's what I do, that's what I talk about. I talk about codependence and I talk about trauma healing. But at the same time, when we talk about repression and marginalization, how are you repressing yourself? How are you marginalizing yourself? As I said, I'm not an activist. I don't work with masses of people. I work one-on-one. And so that's why I'm talking to you, one person. And my mission in life is to eradicate trauma from the human condition, one nervous system at a time. So I work one-on-one, and I don't, I work with all races, all ages, all shapes and sizes. How are you digesting your unhealed trauma, and how is it showing up as repression and marginalization of yourself and or the people around you? And sometimes repression and marginalization in the way that I'm talking about isn't so overt. It's not so apparent, right? You're in a relationship that doesn't have intimacy. It's not so, your repression and your marginalization is not so apparent, but I say that you're marginalizing yourself. You're saying, actually, I'm not worth, intimacy. I'm going to marginalize myself. I'm going to put myself on the outskirts of the people who are sharing love. That's just not me. The people who are sharing intimacy and truth and purity and innocence and people sharing and opening their heart and feeling safe. I'm going to marginalize myself. It's not my community. Those aren't my peeps. I can't do that. Or when I look at the people who are actually having, making a difference in society, or they're making a difference in a particular community, or they're living their mission and their purpose, I'm going to marginalize myself from those people because that's not me. I'm not doing that. working some job that isn't totally an expression of my mission and purpose. So I'm going to marginalize myself from the people that are, and just kind of wish like I was part of those people. And the reason why I want to bring up my video, like from the past, that was called something like Codependence is Death Denial, is because codependence, and I'm sorry, I don't know why it just got really dark. As I say in all my videos, the way that I have distilled codependence is the want to be wanted, the need to be needed, and or the need to prove oneself. And looking for your validation and permission for your existence inside of somebody else, or inside of some relationship, family, intimate partner, boss. So codependence causes procrastination. Codependence says, you know what? You have plenty of time to have no voice. Sure, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, be in that marriage, be in that job. You know, you have time, which is also why I have the video Codependence and the Procrastination and the Codependent Creator. Because if you're creating from a codependent place, so much time will go by, and you go, I can't believe how much time has gone by, and I haven't done that thing, or I haven't lived that kind of life that I want to live. I haven't been in like a super amazing, extraordinary relationship. Codependence has us go, we have time. You know, we have time to just chillax and live in a mediocre frequency with anger or repression, or not being totally psyched and ecstatic about your life, and while also being of service. I think being of service is like a really, really, really important key. You don't necessarily have to be in service, but I know for myself from training people that having a leg of your life that is of service is dramatically fulfilling, and it's life-giving, right? So we experience the full breath of life when we give it, and not from a codependent point of view. And so that's where trauma healing frees us to be of service, because before, I say that codependence is how we just demonstrate our unhealed trauma in relationship. So as we heal our codependence, we are not being of service from a people-pleasing standpoint. We're being of service as from an altruistic and life-giving standpoint. So to wrap this up, where in your life can you use some urgency for change? Urgency for change instead of waiting for some brick wall situation or event or experience to happen before real change, before you start marching in the streets for the highest expression of your own life. Where can you generate the unwillingness to actually hit a brick wall before urgency moves forth in your life? Thank you for listening to my thoughts, theories, and rants. I want to perpetually apologize, and I'm open if I'm talking about racism and I say the wrong thing, or I say something that doesn't quite hit it, or please let me know, because I want to speak generously and intelligently, and question my ability to talk intelligently about racism, although I'm doing my best. Standing for love and equality for all, and particularly in my work for each individual nervous system, which impacts the collective. All right, thanks again, everybody. And I have openings in my programs, so feel free to email me if you'd like a free consultation, see if we're a match to work together. Happy Friday. You are awesome. and happy healing, and life is now. Bye. One more quick thought, guys, and a bit of a personal share, a little extra thought tag here. I always say life is now, and I practice that in my life, that life is now. And there's always more, like a deeper cut of life is now. I've got these test results from the doctor this week and gotten some tests, and odds are everything, is going to be fine. Statistically, there's a small chance it won't. And I was thinking I got like an even deeper cut of life is now this week, an even deeper cut, because I've been really going along thinking like, okay, I have, I'm 43 years old, and I probably have another, what I've already done, I probably have another 43 years. Like I could do it again, what I've already done, and maybe even more. And I'm planning like I'm planning each decade. I'm really psyched about that because I love being alive. I love it, and I have so much more than I'm planning and creating and projecting into the future. And this week I got so much like at a deeper level, like, oh, what if I only have like 3, 4, 5, 6 years left? Which, whether or not, even if my test results are fine, I still may only have that. We all don't know. It sounds cliche, but we all really don't know. And so I was thinking like, if I only had 4 years left, I better move it. I better move much faster. Because there's so much that I want to experience, so much that I want to feel. And I don't just mean move faster being productive. Move faster at having inner peace. Move faster in enjoyment, enjoying the visceral experience of being alive and connected to self and connected to nature and connected to people and connected to children. Like just put everything in Technicolor. So I got a visceral experience of urgency of life is now. And I just want to share that. And when it comes to the world at large, that we don't know how much time we have left to drop our beliefs and drop our differences. So let's do it even faster. Because to experience life without our separation and our marginalization is so much more extraordinary, and probably the reason why we're here. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Bye.